Many years ago, God had granted me an opportunity, while in my mess, to run and operate a medical transportation company. I was literally on call 24 hours a day. There were times when I would not leave the office until after 11 p.m. One night my dearest sister Sylvia called me and could not believe it was 11:45 p.m. and I was just leaving the office. Her exact words to me, which I clearly still hear in my mind, she said, "Panky, God gave you this job to be a blessing, not a curse." With that being said, Angie's Divine Designs presents this.
I knelt on cold tile at 2 in the morning, whispering words I hoped would reach heaven. My bank account was empty, my options were gone, and so I prayed, not the polished kind of prayer you hear in church, but the desperate kind. The kind where you're bargaining with God because you don't know what else to do. I asked him for a job, just one opportunity, and I promised I'd never forget who provided it. So there I was, night after night, asking God to open a door, any door. I'd scroll through job listings until my eyes burned, send out applications until my fingers cramped. And then I'd pray again. I told God I trusted his timing. I told him I knew he saw me. But honestly, I was scared. Scared I wasn't good enough. Scared I'd been forgotten. And then one Tuesday afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something told me to pick up. And on the other end, a voice said the 4 words I'd been waiting months to hear. "We'd like to offer you the position." I stood there in my kitchen, phone pressed to my ear, and I cried. Not sad tears, grateful ones. God had answered. That first week at work felt like a dream. I had purpose again, a paycheck, a reason to set my alarm. And I thank God every single morning. I'd wake up early, spend time in prayer, read a chapter or 2 before getting ready. I told him this job was his, not mine, that I'd use it for his glory. I meant every word. But then the workload picked up. Deadlines got tighter. My boss needed me to stay late. Just once, he said. Then it was twice. Then it was every night. I'd come home exhausted, collapse into bed, and tell myself I'd pray in the morning. But morning came too fast, and I was already running late. Thank you, God. Narrator, VO. So here's what I didn't notice at first. My Bible started collecting dust. My prayer time became a quick thank you muttered between emails. And Sundays used to be sacred, but now my alarm would go off for church, and I'd think, I'm so tired, God understands, I'll go next week, and I'd silence it, roll over. One Sunday morning I heard church bells in the distance, faint, far away, and something in my chest tightened. It was like God was calling me, gently, patiently, but I ignored it. I had reports to finish, emails to catch up on. I told myself work was a blessing, so working hard was honoring God, right? But deep down, I knew better. It took me 3 months to realize what had happened. 3 months of missing services, of skipping small group, of telling people I've just been so busy when they asked where I'd been. And one night, sitting alone in my apartment with another late-night work project, it hit me. I'd prayed so hard for this job, begged God for it, and now the very blessing I'd asked for had become the thing keeping me from Him. I chased the gift and lost sight of the giver. That's the truth. I let success replace surrender, let productivity replace prayer, and the worst part, I did it slowly, so slowly I didn't even notice until I was already far from where I started. So I did the only thing I knew to do. I prayed again. But this time, I wasn't asking for anything. I was confessing, apologizing, asking God to forgive me for putting His blessing above His presence. So I made a decision, a real one. I set boundaries at work. I protected my Sundays. I woke up earlier, not for emails, but for God. And slowly, I found my way back to worship, back to community. Back to the presence I'd been missing without even realizing how much I needed it. The job is still a blessing, but it's not my God anymore. There's this image that stayed with me, a glowing church at sunrise, doors open, light pouring out, and across the front just one line, "Don't let the blessing replace the giver." That's the lesson. That's what I almost learned too late. God gives good gifts, but He is the greatest gift, and no job, no success, no answered prayer is worth losing Him over. So if you're watching this and you recognize yourself in my story, if the blessings have become distractions, if the gifts have replaced the giver, today can be the day you turn back. God's not angry. He's waiting, with open arms and an open door. Today, choose the giver over every gift, because He's the only one worth building your life around.